So good afternoon all. It's Tamara from Bells of the North Homestead. As you can tell, it's a beautiful sunny day out. Yesterday we got a little tiny bit of a drizzle, which helps a little bit, but we're still having to massively water our garden in order to get any kind of production whatsoever, which is a little on the frustrating side because of course we are on our own well, but it does require power to run that well, which is of course something that we're always we're trying to move forward towards in order to figure out how to make sure, like if the power goes down or whatever, how to keep getting water. So of course that's a challenge. But anyway, so I will say this, that as of lately, it's been a constant balance. Like I keep thinking this over and over, it's a balance. We're having to balance the needs of everything that's going on. As you know, we of course are running our property here, Bells of the North Homestead, where we raise poultry. You know, we raise meat chickens. I think somebody else, I thought those were our turkeys. Sorry, this is what's distracting me. I thought those were our turkeys, but they're not. I think there's somebody else's. But anyways, so back to balance. So we're raising poultry. Let's see, we have 35 chickens. We have 7 turkeys. We have 6 ducks. And of course the rabbits, which aren't going to see anything anytime soon. We got really late on breeding them, somewhat anyways, and we had some failed pregnancies or just missed pregnancies or whatever. So it's slowing us down there, but that's okay because we have other forms of protein as well. And then of course in August we go salmon fishing. So ultimately it means that we really fill our freezers, which is typically the Alaskan way. But right now, we're getting into the heat of summer. Like we are getting into busy. And world events is, of course, not making it any easier. You know, like we are really watching world events. We're listening to all of the different people out there. Boots on the ground, Southern Prepper. I listen to your channel almost every day. Prepper Dog, Jeremiah Babe, all of these different people out there who all have different perspectives, and it's a wonderful way of getting a good perspective of what's going on around the world. But it means that we constantly are rushing forward with the mindset of hurry up, get things done, get the plants growing, get the animals growing, get the everything growing. And meanwhile, of course, we're working full time, both of us, my husband and I. My son does the garden chores during the day, which is good. He hasn't gotten a job yet. He's 16. We've been looking, but unfortunately a lot of the places aren't hiring his age group. And so he does all the garden work during the weekdays, which he hates. He doesn't exactly like garden work. But it means, yeah, on the weekends we're in a rush mode, hurry up, get things done. And not only do we have to get the garden work done, and not only do we have to get the chicken processing done and feeding and caring and all of that, and not only do we have to keep the bees going and keep an eye on the hens. We had one just get out earlier. Oh gosh, I heard a big squawk and I'm thinking, great, we just lost another one to a fox, which we didn't, thank God. But yeah, so it's a constant balance. And then as of today, I was working on PowerPoint presentations for the Master Gardener class here in Fairbanks, where I am co-teaching with many other wonderfully gifted teachers. And I've been reminded this is like a college level class that I'm teaching, which is an honor, but it means that I create a lot of PowerPoints for it. And so it's been a constant, okay, how do we balance our time and needs and wants and all of that, which right now I think almost wants are down low. Like right now, want is I need to get a glass of water. Like I want a glass of water. That's like very low on the list, which is horrible because it's really important for us to take good care of our bodies, especially going forward. So yeah, anyway, so it's been incredibly busy. And I also kind of want to share a conversation that I had just recently where we were being really bad. We ordered pizza, and it was actually last weekend, and I meant to keep making a video on it, and it completely struck me it just took me completely off guard. We order the pizza and the gentleman shows up at our door, and I go to the door and I'm signing for the pizza and I'm disheveled, my hair's a mess. you know, I'd been in this hat all day long. I'm sweaty. And I explained to him, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a mess. My son and I have been working in the garden all day. My husband was off at a class doing a reloading class. And so he went, oh, you're preparing for those hard times. You've been working in your garden? And I'm like, preparing for hard? Yeah, I guess so. And he said, yeah, you know, we're in for some real hard times coming forward. He says, are you guys preparing for it? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, pretty much. And it was quite interesting to hear somebody who I didn't even at all bring up anything that came forward to me and say, are you preparing for hard times? And to me, that is a huge change over the past couple of years, where people prior to a couple of years ago would say, if you said, oh, are you preparing for hard times? Most people would be like what? What the heck are you talking about? So I found it quite interesting, and him and I had a good long talk. He said he was actually going to come by and talk to me later because I told him I was teaching the Master Gardener class at UAF, and yeah, so it was an interesting conversation. That it's just like the conversation I had with one of the employees over at our Safeway, and I won't name names. She's a very nice lady, but she warned us that we better get our food in order. Because people, she said, pretty much by October, they have been warned that they have the potential of seeing empty shelves by October here in our local Safeway. So now we are in Alaska, and a lot of people might say, well, you're in Alaska. Of course, what do you expect? Yeah. However, guess what? I've also heard this from people in the lower 48. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. Hence the reason why we constantly have that balance. We feel we have to keep that balance, not go too overboard with everything we do. Take good care of ourselves moving forward. And remember that while this time right now might seem tough, in the future, I want to say Patera at Appalachia Homestead, she recently said this, and I was like, oh girl, you hit the nail right on the head. She was saying, you know what, right now we might be in tough times. You might be hard, it might be hard, you might be tired at the end of the day, but guess what? What if it gets worse? What if we're the frog, and I'm going to add this, what if we're the frog in the pot? What happens if we think this in a year from now, 2 years from now? What if this is the good time? Or what if 2 years from now, we're sitting there going like, there's no break. There's no break. Yeah, I keep thinking that. So, oof. Okay, B. Hurry. She had to get to some leaves and flowers over there. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. The next video coming up here soon, I'm going to do a quick walkthrough in the garden, show you how our meat chickens are doing. Everything's looking really good. Meat chickens, the first batch of them gets harvested next week. And then after that, we have another harvest of chickens again. That's going to be chickens and probably ducks. We just weighed the ducks, and one of them at least was 6.5 pounds. The chickens, most of the ones that we're going to be harvesting within the next week are going to be, let's see, most of them were about 5.5 pounds to 6.5. So those are the first guys to go. The ones that were 4 pounds and under, they're staying around for a little longer so that way they can beef up, get a little chunkier. I'll talk encouragingly to them, give them motivational speeches just like I do to the hens. Unfortunately, sometimes the hens don't listen to me. So they only listen to me when I have food. So, all right, well, this is Tara from Bells of the North Homestead, and I am out. I'll see you guys later.